When the guys came back from Africa and said, you know, folks, we have strong evidence that some dinosaurs are still alive. And then he said, it's amazing they survived for 70 million years. Still doesn't get it. The whole geologic column is baloney. That's the problem. Here's another one. The remains of a bird which lived between 142 and 137 million years ago, recently found in China. The discovery made by fossil hunting farmer announced by a Chinese-American team of scientists, including Alan Fiducia from UNC and Larry Martin from University of Kansas, provide the oldest evidence of a beaked bird on Earth yet found. The Chinese bird, claim its discoverers, probably lived at the Jurassic Cretaceous boundary prior to the arrival of these other ones, and could not possibly have descended from them. My point is, even evolutionists are admitting birds were around, by their twisted geologic thinking, before Archaeopteryx. So why do textbooks still teach the kids tomorrow in our county that Archaeopteryx is a missing link? That ought to be removed. You can document it's not true. Jurassic Bird challenges origin theories from GeoTimes in 1996. This guy says, there are plenty of other reasons to refute the dinosaur-bird connection, says Fiducia. How do you derive birds from a heavy, earthbound, bipedal reptile that has a deep body, a heavy balancing tail, and 4 shortened forelimbs? Biophysically, it's impossible. Here's the problems that I see. The lungs are totally different. Modern birds are found in layers lower than dinosaurs. I mean, according to them, dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago. Yet they're saying we've got birds 130 million years old, 140 million. How can dinosaurs turn to birds when birds are there before dinosaurs were even gone? Scales and feathers attach to the body very differently, and they develop from different genes on the chromosomes. Birds have a 4-chambered heart. Most reptiles have 3. Here's another very serious problem with this, because a 3-chambered heart brings in the blood from the lungs, which has oxygen, and it brings in blood from the rest of the body, which does not have oxygen. Your body's used it up, and it mixes them, and it sends it out as a mixture. It's only half oxygenated, and they can survive just fine on that. That's why a lot of lizards and reptiles, they lay around an awful lot. Okay, they just don't have the energy to run around hard all day, like our dog. But birds have a 4-chambered heart, and so do humans, by the way. So the blood goes from your body into the heart, then it's pumped to the lungs, comes from the lungs back into the heart, then it's pumped back out to the body. So all of it goes through the lungs one time. So it's going to get oxygen. Reptiles don't do that. Now, a few reptiles do have a 3-chambered heart. Okay, I'm sorry, a few reptiles do have a 4-chambered heart, but most do not. They found a dinosaur fossil here recently. They said the heart was petrified. Very unusual. And they found this dinosaur skeleton and the rock inside the chest. They said this is his heart, and it could very well be. I don't know. And they've x-rayed it and said we think it has 4 chambers to it. That could very well be also. And they're saying, see, in order to go from a dinosaur to a bird, one thing that has to change is the heart, and we've got proof that it changed. Well, you got a long stretch there from the evidence. Okay. Reptiles lay leathery eggs. Have you ever seen a turtle egg? You know, it's real leathery like shell. Birds have a hard egg that cracks very easily. Watch when they have the crocodiles hatching out on TV. You'll see the egg, you know, kind of crumbles like a raisin. Bird eggs don't do that. Okay, so the eggs are totally different. Swinson, British Museum of Natural History, they've got the largest fossil collection in the world. He said the evolutionary origin of birds is largely a matter of deduction. There is no fossil evidence of the stages through which the remarkable change from reptile to bird was achieved. Notice what he says here. He still believes in evolution, doesn't he? He thinks the change was achieved, doesn't he? But we just have no evidence for it. So he's not going to abandon the theory. He's just going to admit there's no evidence. Well, that's, I suppose, step 1. I doubt he'll ever take step 2 because he loses his job, you know, but he did take step 1. Yay. There is no evidence for it. Richard Dawkins, who hates creationists, says, it is absolutely safe to say that if you meet someone who claims not to believe in evolution, that person is ignorant, stupid, or wicked. Well, this guy's real open-minded for discussion, isn't he? Sir Arthur Keith strongly believed in evolution. He wrote the foreword to Darwin's book. They republished the book every once in a while. And when they republished it on the 100-year anniversary, which is going to be a big deal, 1959, 100-year anniversary of Darwin's book, they said, Sir Arthur Keith, you're one of our favorite evolutionists of the day. We would like to honor you with giving you the right to write the introduction to the book. Arthur Keith said, evolution is unproved and unprovable. We believe it because the only alternative is special creation. And that is unthinkable. That's quite a confession. And they printed it in the front of Darwin's book when it was republished in 1959. So the obvious question comes up. If neither one can be proven, if both have to be taken by faith, why do all of us pay for one to be taught in the schools? Of course we can't prove evolution. Can you prove creation? And I say, oh no, can't do that. And they say, well see, what's the big deal? I say, well obviously the big deal is, how come I have to pay for your religion to be taught? And thinking evolutionists are totally stumped by that. It finally dawns on them, wow, he's right. Look, if you believe in evolution, that's fine. You have a right to do that. If you want to believe you came from a rock, that's perfectly fine. I don't care what you believe. You want to use my tax dollars to teach my kids your theory that we came from a rock? Oh, now, right there we have a little problem. That's where we're going to draw the line. Now I'm going to go to my grave, probably early, because of preaching against this. But, okay. I'm not going to shut up about it. Okay, we're going to fix this or die trying. Professor Bunauer at the Strasbourg Zoological Museum said, evolution is a fairy tale for grown-ups. Long ago and far away. Isn't that what evolution says? He says the theory has helped nothing in the progress of science. It is useless. The guy who invented the MRI machine is a creationist. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of scientists. All of the major branches of science were started by creationists. So can anybody name me, and I ask this question to professors in debates frequently, can you name me one scientific advancement we have because of the evolution theory? Is that why we have light bulbs? Is that why we have computers? Is that why we have been able to go to the moon? Has the space program... Now, a lot of money is spent on the space program to try to prove evolution. No question. But what part of evolution theory caused the space program? He's right. The theory is useless. Even if it's true, it's useless. And if it's not true, it's dangerous. It's worse than useless. Malcolm Muggeridge said, I myself am convinced the theory of evolution, especially the extent to which it has been applied, will be one of the great jokes in the history books of the future. Posterity will marvel that so flimsy and dubious an hypothesis could be accepted with the incredible credulity that it has. Why would so many smart people, smart in other areas, accept this theory? He's right. Someday, they're going to be laughing at those people who believe in evolution. But in the meantime, it accomplishes the goal of keeping them from Christ. This man said, scientists who go about teaching that evolution is a fact of life are great con men. The story they are teaching may be the greatest hoax ever. In explaining evolution, we do not have one iota of fact.